Hi guys, it's Sophia here from ALM Fitness, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about yoga. So we introduced yoga into our repertoire for our members not so long ago, and it's proving to be very popular so far. And what I always like to start my talking with our members about in yoga is that it's not all about having to get into certain postures, and it doesn't matter if you're flexible. So putting that more into context. So a lot of people shy away from yoga or don't necessarily want to try yoga because they feel that they won't be able to do it, or that they are unable to do it. They're not very flexible, so they won't be able to get into certain poses and postures, and so they shy away from it. Now this is such a small part of yoga, and it's not what yoga's about. So first and foremost, if anybody's thinking of trying yoga but they're a bit apprehensive because they think they can't do it, then I would say just jump in and try, because it's not about what you can and can't do. Now, when you practice asana, which is only a small part of yoga in reality, we work with our bodies. So myself, for example, I'm not super flexible. Yes, I'm studying to be a yoga teacher, so people might think, oh, you can do X, Y, Z. I can't. I have to bend my knees slightly when I do a forward fold. Downward dog is hard for me sometimes. There are, some positions I struggle with, and there's no way I could do a headstand, especially at the moment. I plan on hopefully in the future maybe being able to do one, but there's absolutely no way I would do one now. So it's not about getting into postures. And just because, say, for example, I can't do a forward fold with my belly flat to my legs straight, everything else, how it's traditionally done, or how perfect posture is done, it doesn't mean I'm not doing yoga. So we adapt the poses, or the how we call it, asana postures, for you to be able to do. You work with your body. So if you feel something and you go into a posture and you're like, oh, it's not quite, it doesn't feel right, it's a bit painful, then adapt it. Move in such a way that your body feels comfortable. Like I said, we work with your body. We don't want to work against it, because that's going to create more tension. And one of the points of yoga is to get rid of that tension and to allow the body to become supple and soft and comfortable. So the main reason for asana practice, or how asana practice was developed and why it was developed, is actually for meditation purposes. So meditation is a really important part of yoga, and it's one of the 8 limbs of yoga, as asana is as well. But it's classed as one of the higher up practices. And the thing with meditation is, if you're going to sit or lie in a specific position for any length of time, now meditation is typically done, they prefer you to do it in a seated position, so in like a seated cross-legged easy pose. Lotus is where both feet come up. That is the preferred pose, but a lot of people can't reach that. They don't like you to lie down for meditation because you can fall asleep, and obviously, for obvious reasons, you don't want to stand up for meditation. So in order to be able to sit cross-legged in a comfortable position for a long time, takes the body to become used to it, strong, balanced, flexible, pliable, to be able to sit without getting pins and needles, without getting fidgety, uncomfortable, everything else. So asana practice was developed so that we could build our muscle strength in such a way that it was comfortable for us to undertake meditation. So that's the reason for it. So like I say, it doesn't matter if you can't stand on your head, do all these weird and wonderful poses. It does not matter. You can still practice yoga, and I would still encourage you to practice yoga. Yoga will help with strength, flexibility, balance, helps with good posture, because you're thinking about your posture quite a lot when you're in these positions. Helps to increase blood flow. It helps us focus. It helps focus the mind, because when we're doing yoga and focusing on these asanas, you are focusing on your body, and you've got that mind-body connection, which is what we want. We want to be at one with our body. It can also help with things like digestive issues, and it builds an awareness of our body, where we feel tensions, where we feel tight, and everything else. And it allows us to move through those and help release those tensions. And the reason in a yogic explanation for these is prana. which is our life force or life flow. It's called different things in different cultures. Another one is chi or ki, and it's that flow of life through us, our life force. And if it gets blocked in some way or it's imbalanced, then we can have tensions and things like that. I'm not going to go into too much detail and overload you now, but this is why another reason for practicing asana and making sure our body is balanced so that our prana can flow effectively and we can stay healthy, mind and body and our soul, if you like. So of these 8 limbs of yoga, in the West we traditionally practice asana, and in some cases pranayama, which is breath control. It's a lot more in depth than that, but essentially it's breath control and it's breathing in certain ways, again to help with prana flow, to help with focus control, and to calm and relax us. One thing with yogic breathing is we should always breathe through the nose in general, because it's thought to cleanse the air as we take it in. So mouth breathing is frowned upon for most part in yoga. There is some yogic techniques and pranayama techniques that include some mouth breathing, but again, I'm not going to go into that in great detail now. So yeah, that's giving you a little bit of stuff about what you don't need to be to practice yoga, and maybe why you should practice yoga. So yeah, it's a lifestyle, it's a philosophy. It's one of 6 schools of philosophy in India. And yeah, if you are interested at all, if you're curious about yoga, then I highly recommend that you give it a go, whether our members do it with us or somebody has a go on YouTube or whatever else. Give it a go, see what you think. I hope you found this useful, and thank you for listening.